Hey YouTube, this will be the start of a new series of guides where I go over some more in-game mechanics and strategies, operating on the assumption that you understand all the basics of the game. In this episode, I'll be looking at the ways in which players can stockpile and spend orbs efficiently. So firstly, I want to say that not everybody needs to hear everything that I have to say in this video, and if you're interested in a particular topic, then you can skip to a specific timestamp on the screen. Before we get into any tips, the first thing we want to do is find out how many orbs we get on a monthly basis. Our core idea of these guides is to be informed and to adequately prepare yourself. After all, knowledge is power. The game, a few days after a new update, will release a calendar with events for the upcoming month. Now yes, I know, counting is hard, but don't worry. Reddit user ZX Vicario has your back. Every month, when the new calendar is released, they post an estimate of the amount of orbs that the player base is going to receive, assuming that you complete everything. They also do have orb counts up until major banner releases too, which can be quite helpful. As far as accuracy goes, I found that it's generally spot on to the amount of orbs that we get, and it's quite similar to the estimates that I have when I count my orbs every month. So that covers the current month, but what if, let's say, you're a long-term planner and want to save for something like the next Choose Your Legends banner, or something a while away? There's no such accurate estimates lying around, so we have to rely on extrapolating some data. Here, I recommend checking out the Gamepedia orb distribution page. I'll provide a link in the description below as well. Okay, so here I'm on the orb distribution page, and because we want to make estimates for 2019, we should be going off 2018. 2017 might be inaccurate because in April, if you remember or were playing all the way back then, we only got 151 orbs, which is not a lot. So anyways, main thing, check 2018 for 2019. And firstly, what we're going to do is we want to check the months with major events and celebrations. So that includes February for the anniversary, April for Golden Week, August for Choose Your Legends, and December for the Book 3 release. We're already on December, and we can see that Book 3 release gives us 345 orbs, which I think is above average as opposed to what we get on the other filler months. So you can see we got 290 on November, 301 on October, 321 in September, 399 on August. This is when Choose Your Legends dropped, so the higher orb count makes sense. 322 in July, 294 in June, 328 on May, 373 on April, which is when Golden Week happened, 321 in March, 437 on February, and 334 on January. So by looking at the past data, we can tell that for major months like February for anniversary, we can expect a lot more than the normal amount of orbs. We get at least 350 orbs for these types of celebration months, reaching as high as 430 for the anniversary month. On the other hand, for the regular months, we can see that we get somewhere between 290 to 320 orbs on average. So let's say we want to see how many orbs we can get from February to Choose Your Legends 3. The special months are February, April, and August. Extrapolating the data, February is likely to have 400 orbs, April is likely to have about 370, and August 400 orbs. Then we need to add the other 4 regular months of, let's say, we get 300 orbs on average each month. Together, that is 2,370 orbs in total that is attainable in the game for Choose Your Legends, which most people would agree is around the amount to plus 10 a 5-star exclusive hero. So doing all the quests and counting all the orbs is simple enough, but here is where the hard part of managing the orb comes. If we go back to the event calendar, we can see that it outlines the timing of various banners. Again, we want to make use of this information, so we need to look at all the names of the future banners to make an informed decision on whether or not we need to summon. This decision will vary based on the person, but you should be thinking along the lines of, what do I need and what do I really want for this game? Every person should aim to build an emblem team for each movement type, since many quests require that you use these teams for orb rewards, so I strongly recommend that you do so. Naturally, everybody likes specific units and may want to invest in them, and that's fine. Many players get enjoyment out of using their favorite characters, so these players will summon for exclusive skills and weapons just for their favorite characters, because they have a goal in mind, and that's the important part, having a goal in mind. If you are serious about getting a unit and don't want to get screwed over by the gacha system, you should be trying to make an informed decision and giving yourself the best possible chance at getting that unit. Making informed decisions is very important because your orb spendings will have meaning and you won't feel bad when you summon units that you just eventually don't use. So the last important thing in terms of orb management is to spend your orbs efficiently. Saving orbs isn't just about doing the quests and saving orbs, but also spending efficiently. Someone who spends 80 orbs for a unit versus someone who spends 60 orbs will have 20 orbs saved. So how can we make use of the previous idea that we introduced? Well, we can participate in the Hero Fest, Legendary, and 2-person banners. These banners feature a higher chance to get 5-star units than the regular 3 and 4-person banners. And 2-person banners feature a high percentage on the focus units, of course. Keep in mind that when a new banner is released, the featured units are typically going to be featured in a future Legendary banner, especially if they're powerful units or seasonals. As Legendary banners may also feature multiple units that you may want to pull, this banner gives you more value out of the orbs that you spend. The last piece of advice I want to give is how many orbs I recommend spending on a banner to get a unit. So everybody should know that the more orbs that you have, the better the chance you have of pulling a 5-star unit. This is correct, but from time to time I see people spreading their orb board thin by summoning on multiple banners, spending about 40 on like 3 or 4 banners. Mathematically, what this does is reduce your chances of getting a 5-star on each of the banners. Instead, if you had say spent 150 orbs on one banner, you'd have a very good chance at pulling a 5-star rather than spending 40 orbs on multiple banners and potentially not getting anything at all. This leads me on to my next point, and that's using the pity percentage effectively. Since this percentage is locked to individual banners, by spreading your orbs across multiple banners, the percentage will not increase to a point where the difference is worth the orbs. 3.25% and 3.5% does not increase your chances as much as say 4% or 4.5%, although that's considered unlucky at that point. So before I end the video, I want to say be careful of expecting too much out of a banner. It's very possible to get screwed over by RNG, and don't expect units to come in 60 orbs frequently. Things will just not go well for you, so try not to raise your expectations too high. Anyways, that'll be it from me on managing orbs. Hope you guys make the most out of your orbs. Eventually you'll get the hang of it and it'll get easier and easier to save and spend your orbs. See ya!